We talked a while ago about Kareem Hunt, and after reports that came out yesterday, it's time to start talking about this again. We've kind of mentioned it from time to time. If you're new here, we've been talking about this Kareem Hunt thing and that being a possibility. And I saw a report yesterday from Destin Adams of A to Z Sports, and he mentioned in an article that the Colts are still remaining in contact with Kareem Hunt and his representation, and he also said that the Colts still have, quote, strong interest in adding the veteran running back to their roster. He even went on to say that that interest is so strong that had Jonathan Taylor been traded, Kareem Hunt would probably be on the roster already. So it seems like we're moving in a way where there's a good chance Kareem Hunt, when he decides to pick a team, it ends up being the Colts. Okay, now there are other teams involved in this. There are three other teams that, as we know right now, have made offers to Kareem Hunt. Now, obviously, it's the New Orleans Saints. Okay, now if you don't know, Kareem Hunt was visiting the New Orleans Saints and got a call saying that the Colts would offer him more money. So he immediately left the Saints facility and flew to Indianapolis to meet with the Colts, where the Colts offered him a contract. So it seems unlikely that he ends up with the Saints, but it is an option, right? And they have Alvin Kamara going to be suspended for the first 3 weeks. Jamal Williams is there, so it's not again likely that he goes to the Saints, but there is an offer on the table from the Saints. Okay, the Dolphins have also not been hiding the fact that they'd be interested in adding Kareem Hunt to their depth chart. And with the Dolphins unable to get Dalvin Cook, and the fact that they, at least at this point, have been unable to get Jonathan Taylor, I wouldn't be totally shocked if Kareem Hunt decided to go to Miami, right? It's Miami. There's a chance he could be the starter. I think that could cause problems in the locker room if he starts right away. But Kareem Hunt would make that team much better. The two running backs that they have there, often injured. So I could see a lot of reasons why Miami would be attractive for Kareem Hunt. Okay. And then you look at the Baltimore Ravens. They also have two running backs that are often injured. Now, J.K. Dobbins could come back from this ACL injury and be an absolute animal. But at least from the Ravens side of things, they've had to see Kareem Hunt twice a year for a few years. So they know what he can do. And adding him to that depth chart would immediately make that offense even more dynamic than we expect it to be. Plus, you got to think, you look at some of these teams, the Dolphins and the Ravens could be competing for a Super Bowl. So again, more reasons for Kareem Hunt to want to go somewhere else. But at the end of the day, Kareem Hunt for years has talked about wanting to go somewhere where he would have a starting opportunity. And even when Zach Moss comes back, you have Zach Moss, Deion Jackson, and Evan Hull. So there's a strong possibility that maybe not right away, but pretty soon, Kareem Hunt would be the starter, right? And there's no telling when Jonathan Taylor is going to be ready to come back from his injury, right? He's going to be out at least the first 4 weeks. And if his injury continues to linger on beyond that, then you're looking at, Zach Moss, Evan Hull, Deion Jackson. We have to hope that they just don't get hurt, right? Because who are you going to start bringing in after that? And do you want to be at a point where you end up having to rely on one of those guys to be a 20 to 25 carry a game guy? I just don't know if that's the avenue you want to take. So I think bringing in Kareem Hunt makes a lot of sense for the Colts, and I think it makes a lot of sense for Kareem Hunt to go to Indianapolis. Of all the teams that are looking at bringing him in, you start thinking around the league, makes a lot of sense for Kareem Hunt to end up in Indianapolis for a lot of different reasons. He gets a start. There's no telling when Jonathan Taylor comes back. And then even if Kareem Hunt comes here, if you bring in Kareem Hunt, kind of gives you a little leeway. Like if you want to trade Jonathan Taylor, go ahead, trade Jonathan Taylor, because Kareem Hunt's going to be cheaper. He's older, right? He hasn't been a starter, so he can't sit there and say in a negotiation like, "Oh, well, look at this. I've been a starter for this long and produced like this." Like he's been the number two guy behind Nick Chubb, who's been the workhorse back in that offense. So I think the role that we've seen Kareem Hunt play in his career, he can play that role while being, not necessarily a workhorse, but he can get that starter work, right? And then you have Evan Hull, that can be, kind of his fill in if you need, right? Because he does a lot of the same things. But you can also have Kareem Hunt teach these guys. Like Kareem Hunt's been great since he came into the league. He was a rookie of the year. So having that experience in the running back room could pay dividends, especially to a guy like Evan Hull, right? You can have Kareem Hunt teaching this guy how to read holes, teaching him how to read defenses and being able to pick out which the best way to go is, right? Like I'm not a running back, never been a running back. I don't know the technicalities of it, but I assume there are a lot of intricacies and a lot of little details that Kareem Hunt could share with the rest of the running back room to help them be great, right? And the versatility that he brings would be perfect for the Shane Steichen offense. Because while the Shane Steichen offense doesn't use the running backs a lot in the pass game, with Kareem Hunt, that is always an option. You can scheme things up to where you can manufacture touches for Kareem Hunt because he's that kind of playmaker and he can catch the ball and make plays after he catches the ball. So for me, it makes a lot of sense to bring in Kareem Hunt. Okay, I know a lot of people have a moral objection around bringing Kareem Hunt in, and I understand that. And I'm not going to fight you on that. Like I respect that opinion. Okay, from a football standpoint, I would like Kareem Hunt to be on this football team, even if Jonathan Taylor, like especially if Jonathan Taylor comes back to play, right? If he ever plays for the Colts again, of course I want Jonathan Taylor and Kareem Hunt on the team. Yes, please give me all that, right? With Josh Downs on the team, like please, yes. Okay. I'm all with that. So I think this is something the Colts should definitely do. This is one, we talked about a trade yesterday with Mike Evans. This isn't a trade. Okay. We don't have to give up draft capital. We just have to pay a running back. I mean, Dalvin Cook's making what it was 11 million, I think was like max value. Give Kareem Hunt a deal worth 9 million max value. $5 million guaranteed, more than half of the contract guaranteed. And then you still have what, $8 or $9 million left. I think the Colts currently have like 17, a little over 17 million in cap space. So then if you really needed to, you could make another move if you had to, or you could just pay Jonathan Taylor an extra 6 million for this year or something, so it's something. You could do something with the extra money after you pay Kareem Hunt. So I think it'd be a good idea. I'd love to know what you think about bringing Kareem Hunt in. Is this something that you think we should do at the point that we're at with the running back room? You let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on to keep getting more Colts content like this and stay updated on more Colts news. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.